Good morning. It is September 23rd. It's a Tuesday, and it's time for another Taco Tuesday here at WiLS. Thank you so much for joining us, whether you're coming to us live or recorded. We are going to be hearing from three of our great vendor partners today. You can see their names here on the screen. And I like to keep these things brief. So without any further ado, I would like to introduce our first presenter coming to us from Docuseek's Julie Wang. Julie, are you ready to take over?
I am.
Oh,
Let me share my screen. Okay, you should be able to see a slide that says Docuseek Essential Films for K-12 Education. My name is Julie Wang. I've been in educational distribution for decades, and I'm very happy to work with Docuseek. I primarily focus on K-12 as well as a handful of higher educational states in the South, and I also do all the marketing for the company. So I'm happy to be here. Um, so for those of you who don't know Docuseek, we are an independent streaming platform. It was founded by two longstanding educational distributors, Bullfrog Films and Icarus Films. And they have been around since, I believe, between 50 and 60 years. So there's a deep root in educational films. And as you can see, since we're an independent streaming platform, all of our titles are exclusive. And we are currently at a little over 2,900 titles. And our streaming platform is pretty competitive. But here are a list of ones that we always get asked about. I won't go through all of them, but it's simultaneous streaming 24/7, unlimited at your school. There are many flexible licensing options, Mark Records. You can sign up for a free trial. I mean, basically anything and everything that's standard plus more included with educational streaming platforms. And these are some of our subject areas. Again, I'd mentioned that Bullfrog Films and Icarus Films are primary two distributors. Bullfrog Films specializes in not primarily, but very strong environmental films, and Icarus Films has their strength in global studies, but here are other samples of subject areas. So you could see we touch almost every single academic area. And I like to show this slide. It might be a little bit obvious, but I actually refer to it, every so often just to kind of see what's coming up, see how our films can be used around certain themes, and I show this to give you an idea of how our films can be used. So the big month, February Black History Month, March Women's History Month, and so on and so forth. And some of our distributors, like I said, we are an independent streaming platform for about 30 solid independent educational distributors, and we are constantly growing. So this is an idea of, I want to say, I haven't counted them, but I'm pretty sure it's close to almost everyone we have currently represented on our platform. And I wanted to kind of start our main flagship collection is what we call the Docuseek Complete Collection. And this is a collection that has the 2,900 exclusive titles. Right now, our cap is 3,000 exclusive titles by the end of next year. And how that model works is we have a 1 year, 3 year, and life of file. And we also have what's called an EBA 1 year and EBA 3 year, which means at the end of the subscription period, you keep a certain number of films for life of file. So you are getting something in return for your subscription. So I just wanted to actually point out you can choose the EVA option or the non-EVA option. The non-EVA option is just a straight subscription, and that is a little bit lower rate than the EVA subscription. And for the K-12 market, we built a special collection because obviously some titles are not appropriate. They're more appropriate for college level. So we've curated right now it's actually almost 500. We're going to be 500 by the end of the year. So it's a solid collection. It is priced incredibly well. And the highlights are films on history, science, literature, fine arts, mental health, women's studies. And this is appropriate for both teachers as well as students. And this is also available 1 year, 3 year, and life of file. And this is just an idea of our new releases. We try and curate the best of the best. Academy Award nominees, a lot of festival winning films, and obviously films that touch on, I might sound dated when I say this, but current events. So we want to make sure we're keeping up with all that. And this is just a slide to showcase Bullfrog Films, one of the biggest collections on the platform. I think I mentioned they primarily focus on, or they have very strong environmental titles, and these are some of their new releases this year. And another strong collection in the complete collection is We'll Make Movies. They are the largest distributor and oldest of films by and about women. And we are happy to also have them on board on our platform. And Collective Eye Films, they're also very strong educational distributor. They have many films for K-12 and up, and we're happy to have them as a partner as well. Now I'm going to jump over to, there's certain distributors that opted just for a white label, and so we call them add-on collections. And so one of them is the Good Docs Complete Collection. They have around 320 titles currently with us, and they're constantly adding basically any film that goes to Good Docs immediately funnels over to Docuseek. So we're happy that we have all of the Good Docs titles exclusively, and that's a add-on, and we have special pricing for our add-on collections. And finally, our latest distribution partner is Progda. They are the largest independent distributor of Latin America Spanish and Latinx cinema. They are about 50-50 documentaries and narratives, whereas Good Docs and the Docuseek Complete Collection is all documentaries. And these are all in their original language. And they also can be an add-on collection, which we can work out the best pricing. And finally, I like to throw this in there. It seems to be popular with K-12, especially since this collection comes with a bunch of tools, resources. Every single film has a teacher's guide, a curriculum guide, and it's also a standalone collection, and it is actually underwritten by a grant, so it is very, very affordable. And this is about 46 titles. So that's an what we call the Global Environmental Justice Collection. And I think I mentioned earlier, we have flexible licensing and payment options. So if you're not ready to commit to entire collection, you can also license single titles. You could license smaller collections, like just a certain subject area that you're interested in. Of course, the best value are the complete collections. So the Docuseek Complete, the Good Docs Complete, and the Progda Complete. But since we are a small company, we like to work with you on what best fits your streaming needs. So, we can work with you on any type of smaller collections. Oh, sorry. And I forgot to mention, tokens are also a great way to purchase films at a reduced rate. So instead of the single title rate, the price breaks start at 10 titles. And once you subscribe, or even if you're not a subscriber and you want some materials to help you, promote whatever title is on your at your school, we do provide digital and physical marketing materials. And this is just a very small sample. We have bookmarks, flyers, widgets. What else do we have? Postcards. So a bunch of different things, pens, giveaways, that kind of stuff to get people aware of the Docuseek resource at your school. And that's it. I wanted to make sure I didn't go over time. I've never been first, so I wanted to make sure I wrapped up in time. But you can contact me. You can contact WiLS for special discounts that we offer, and this is my contact information, and I'm happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Thank you so much, Julie. Yes, if anyone listening or watching live has a question, please do feel free to put it into the chat box. But as always, you can always reach out to us here at WiLS. If you've got questions, if we don't have the answer, we'll put you in touch probably with Julie, who certainly will have the answer. And I know that she won't mind if you reach out to her directly as well. Julie's been on Taco Tuesday a lot of times. I'm really always happy to have you back, Julie. I think Docuseek's it's got a great kind of it's a great collection. It has a variety of collections that I think fit a really good use case for a lot of our members, but certainly as she was focusing on today on our K-12 institutions. So I'm always happy to have a chance to highlight it.
Thank you.
All right. So with that, I haven't seen any questions come in. So why don't we, I'm going to share my screen again just to sort of get us set up for our next presenter. And that is going to be Sean, who we were talking before the session today. And Sean and I think he might have done a Taco Tuesday years ago, but we're really excited to have him back today representing Kermode. So Sean, I'm going to stop sharing my screen so you can take over.
You bet. That's great. Thank you, Jeff. So, hi, everybody. My name is Sean Campbell. I'm with Kermode Education, and we are the premier digital literacy e-learning platform in the world. And so what does that mean? And so what we do is we basically make people smarter and safer online. And obviously, individual users can use it to improve their digital citizenship skills. But what we found has been our primary market has really been schools and families. It's people working with the anxious generation, constant battles with screen time, and they know how important this is, but they don't always have the structure and resources they need to really talk to their kids about digital literacy, and really start to build critical thinking and source evaluation skills that aren't just going to help them now. It's going to help them 5-10 years down the line when the online world is completely different, right? And so, so I'm going to share my screen, and we will see how Kermode does that. All right, I'm going to hope that you can see my screen okay.
Looks good,
So this
Sean.
is the live site. You can see it? Excellent. Thanks, Jeff. This is the live site. So it is a browser-based app, and it has two main parts. And so the first part is our Explore page here. And so you have 16 different lessons along our learning journey, all a critical piece of digital literacy. And in each one of those lessons, you're going to have a video. So a tutorial video that gives you some context for this. So what are we talking about? Why is it important? How does it impact me online? We also have a short text overview. And then we have inquiry questions. And the inquiry question piece is crucial. So there's a lot of e-learning platforms and they give you the video, right? They're giving you information. And that foundational understanding is critical. It's important. But if you're not diving into that subject, if you're not asking questions, if you're not exploring these ideas, you're not internalizing that learning, you're not building habits, and you're certainly not building skills. And that's what we really do here at Kermode is we build skills, because those are going to last us when we're outside of the Kermode environment and years down the line. And so with these inquiry questions, you'll see 2 randomized questions for every lesson. But there are 30 of them built into the platform so that every time you do this lesson, you're going to see some new questions, which are going to give you a new way to engage with this lesson and a different way to explore it. So things like confirmation bias. And as we were developing Kermode, we're talking to parents and we're talking to educators and we're saying, okay, what is it that is concerning to you? And often that's things like cyberbullying, right? That's online safety. That's unfortunately, graphic images being sent to between teens or that we're seeing online. But there's so much more to digital literacy than that. And so what we found is you just don't know what you don't know. And so we created this learning path. And we gave you 16 different lessons, and they talk about things like real life versus social media. We do go into cyberbullying. Things like opinion news versus factual news is huge. Right now, there's an explosion of opinion news where someone is taking a news item and telling you how to feel about it. And that's fine, but we need to be able to tell the difference between both so that we know what we're consuming online. And we also talk about the emotional piece of being online. So we talk about the emotional tone of the things that we consume online, because we know that content creators, they know that if we feel something powerful, if we feel excited or outraged, we're more likely to engage with that content. So we're going to like it, we're going to share it, we're going to comment on it. And that's why you see salacious headlines or really graphic imagery that doesn't really fit the tone of what the story actually is. And we need to understand that as strong digital citizens, because it's being used against us all the time. And I always say outrage is a drug, and we're all a little bit addicted to it online. And so we need to understand that that's what people are doing, so that we have better control over what we're seeing online and how we're interpreting it. And we have like the order of this learning path is intentional. But of course, we have parents who are like, you know what? I've talked to my kids about cyberbullying nonstop. I just want to go on to the next one. So of course, you can just click on the next one and move to the next lesson. Or if you're one of these wild people out there who, you can't tell me what to do. I'm going to go wherever I want. You can click shuffle, and it will just randomly take you to a new lesson for you to explore for yourself or with your students or your family. Now, the really innovative piece of Kermode is this analyze, which is the next section. And so as you're looking at these inquiry questions, you're going to do some research around it. You're going to think, okay, well, how does confirmation bias affect me and the tools that I use online? So I use YouTube a lot. I'm going to think, okay, how does the confirmation bias affect the algorithm that I use on YouTube? And so as I'm doing research, I'm inevitably going to come across some new websites. And so this is where source evaluation becomes a huge skill that we need to develop. And so say I found this website and I think it's great, but I want to dive deeper and make sure that it's a good source. All I need to do is copy and paste this URL into our analyze bar, and we analyze the source. So we have a powerful AI engine that actually pulls information from that article. And so it's pulling things like content creator, who wrote this, like who created this, and why are they an expert to be able to tell me about it? It's things like timeliness. So if this was written 2 years ago, but it's about AI, is it relevant still? And so these are things that we've been doing around source evaluation forever, right? But when we're online, we don't always remember to do it. So it's a reminder and a heads up. So it gives you some information and it tells you why it's important. but it doesn't say whether it's good or bad. It doesn't say this website is 80% garbage, because as we've seen with online, if you're just giving people information, one, they're not really learning anything. And two, if they don't like that information, they just disregard it and find something online that aligns with what they already believe, right? And so what we want to do with this AI is not give you the answers. We want to give you information and then get you asking questions and flexing those critical thinking muscles, so that you can evaluate sources while you're using the Kermode app, but also when you're just scrolling through on your own. So Kermode pulls some of that information that is from the article, but it also pulls information from the metadata. And so that's things like, where's the location of the domain host? Who registered the domain? When was it registered? And what the domain extension is. And so that's really valuable information to have that users don't readily have access to all the time. Just a few months ago, the CDC had a mimic site. There was a mimic site up that looked like the CDC, but was giving bad information, disinformation, misinformation. But it looks like it, and that's such a common thing online now, that it helps to have this information so that when you are on Kermode and you see the location is Turkey and the domain registrant is Bugs Bunny and it was registered a week ago, well, those are red flags all over the place, right? And so now I know that I need to dive in and look for more sources for what I'm reading. And so you have 11 different data points that it pulls from the website and from the article itself to help you evaluate it and to help you build those skills. Kermode also has some start here documentation. So anyone who's new to the site, there are tutorial videos, and there are also resources for educators and parents. There's some project-based learning where you can dive into bigger like financial literacy, like bigger ideas, but use Kermode to help you explore those topics. That's about it in a nutshell. I'm going to stop sharing here. So that's Kermode in the sharp and shiny. If you would like a more in-depth overview, of course, I'm more than happy to do that for educators or for libraries. Just let me know and we can talk about how it can benefit your students or your patrons, and how Kermode supports it with digital literacy programming. We do offer a 33% discount to WiLS members at the moment. So you can contact WiLS or myself at info@kermodeeducation.com, and we'll be happy to put together a quote for you. And that's all I have today.
Thanks so much for being here, Sean, and for showing us around Kermode. I think, this will not sound controversial to you, but I can't think of a time when we needed something like this more.
Yeah, honestly, I'm also completely biased on this one, but I think the critical thinking and source evaluation around what we see online and what we're bombarded with online, they're the two biggest skills that we're going to need to develop as a society over the coming kind of 5-10 years. So hopefully this can help.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think there's a real at a time when we have more information to process every day, every person, certainly, let alone young people. You're constantly have this constant stream of information coming to you, is happening at a time when this skill of divining truth from falsehood has been impaired dramatically, possibly intentionally.
It's almost, like I feel like all the skill is really on the misinformation side. Like they're really ramping up how to convince people of things that may or may not be true.
Right.
And our ability to navigate that and figure out what's what is very slow, right? Like we're not adapting as fast as the other side. And so, I'm passionate about this. So anything I can do to help the WiLS members and anybody out there to help their communities, I'm happy to do it.
Well, thank you so much for coming today and showing us around, Sean. Again, if anyone watching this has any questions, please do reach out to us here at WiLS. Feel free to reach out to Sean at the email address he mentioned, and we can we can get you the information you need, and it will be verifiable, true information that we will convey to
You'll be able to build your skills to make sure that it's the real deal. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again, Sean.
Yeah. Thanks so much for setting everything up, Jeff. That was great.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. It's our pleasure. All right. Well, we're a little bit ahead of schedule. So our next presenter is going to be ready in about 5 minutes. If he arrives a little bit earlier than that, we'll get started earlier. Otherwise, why don't we just take a short break? If you're watching live, get up, stretch a little bit, get a drink of water, and we'll get going again here in just a couple of minutes. All right. Talk to you then. All right. Actually, I think Alec has joined us. Hi, Alec.
Hey, Jeff, how's it going?
It's going great. It's going great. We actually are just about ready to get started for the Kids Discover portion of the webinar. Are you ready to go?
I am.
All right, great. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and you'll be in the driver's seat, so to speak.
Awesome. Excellent. I'm going to turn my camera off just because my computer tends to lag a little bit less. But before I do that, I'll just do a quick introduction. So my name is Alec Rotenstein. I'm the Director of Development and Growth at Kids Discover. I've been here 7 years. For those of you who are not familiar with Kids Discover, we are an award-winning educational publisher. We specialize entirely in nonfiction resources, high-interest nonfiction resources. Excuse me, let me just get my thing back. All of our science, social studies, and ELA resources align with Wisconsin state standards, as well as NGSS and Common Core. Our library consists of over 350 units of study that equates to around 3,500 individual standalone articles. In addition to that, we also have teacher resources to accompany those units of study, and we've got a very rapidly growing video and infographic library. I like to call out the different applications and use cases that Kids Discover Online has, because I think it makes our resources and our platform very unique. So obviously in the library, we can be used as this interactive media-rich database. But we're also very commonly used in the classroom as this robust core curriculum product. We're very big on a cross-curricular learning experience here at Kids Discover, not only integrating science and social studies, but also integrating literacy into those lessons. So it gives educators the ability to teach social studies and literacy all at once and really maximize their lesson time. And then the third application I like to call out is the student experience. So again, because we have entirely nonfiction resources in our library, no current events, no historical fiction, we don't link out to any resources outside of Kids Discover Online. We like to think of Kids Discover Online as a very safe and fun space for students to explore. Our mission at Kids Discover, as it has been since day one, is to get students excited about reading and learning. And we feel like we do a really good job of keeping students engaged. One of the ways we do that is with our Discover Map feature. Again, I mentioned we're really big on a cross-curricular learning experience. So this interactive concept map really allows students to build and understand cross-curricular connections while rewarding their curiosity and helping them build research skills along the way. So all of the resources in our library, all 350 units that I mentioned before, will be categorized in one of these 10 color-coded content areas. If I were to click on technology, that opens up this interactive concept map with all of the units of study in this content area on that outer circle. If I were to drill down deeper and click on any one of these units of study, that will recenter the unit of study I clicked on to the middle of the map, and it'll give me some new connections, some new options in my user journey. I can click into any one of the articles from this engineering unit of study, which are the rectangles that are coming out, or I can keep making my cross-curricular connections and choose another unit of study to continue my path. You'll notice that we still have some connections to the technology content area. Robots, inventions, and bridges are all that teal technology color. But we're starting to get some world history and ancient civilization connections, which are these dark orange colors. Rockets is from space science. Electricity is from physical science. So right off the bat, with one click, I've got a handful of cross-curricular connections. If I wanted to, let's say, click on rockets and keep my user experience going, my journey going, that will recenter. And now I have some American history connections. So really fun, engaging tool for students, a good entry point for students. And it also is a great way to build background knowledge before jumping into a lesson itself. One of the great things about the resources on Kids Discover Online is every individual article can act as a standalone resource if needed. So if I'm a student and I want to click into one of these articles, it's going to be a short 750, 800 word read. It's a very visual read with large images supported by smaller, concise captions. But I can read this article without having to have read any other article before it in this Rockets unit of study. From an educator standpoint, that also gives teachers a lot of autonomy to create cross-curricular lesson plans because they're not tied to using a unit of study exactly as we have it built out of the box. They can pull a video from one unit, a couple articles from this unit, and create more of an engaging lesson plan. Getting back to the article itself and the student experience. So as you can see, as I mentioned, it's a very visual read. We have a good amount of white space and padding that's intentional. We want students to feel that our reading is approachable and not be daunted by the amount of text on the page. We've got a lot of great accessibility features built into every article. So varied reading levels that range from grades 3, 4 to 5, 6 up to 7, 8. Our younger reader materials, grades K, 1, and 2, will be written at just a single grade level, which is the level that it's intended for. At the bottom here, this is what we call our student toolbar. It houses the rest of our accessibility features. Starting on the right-hand side, we've got this nice little reading ruler. So if students want to block out the lower portion of text and read at their own pace, they can employ that feature. We've got a dictionary feature built in, so you can define every single word on every page. I can define something as simple as the word in to something as complex as scientists. Anywhere in this pop-up modal that you see a play button next to text means that we offer text-to-speech read aloud for that definition, as well as the translations, which I'll show you right now. So that globe icon will be the translation feature. We offer every single article in 28 languages now. We default to Spanish. So if you highlight a single word or a short passage, click this globe icon, you'll get that same little pop-up modal as with the dictionary definitions. Play button to the left of the text means I can have this read loud in native language. If I need to change my language settings, that gear icon all the way on the right, I can control the speed of the read aloud voice as well as the text highlight color in case there are certain students with vision disabilities and certain colors are easier for them to see on screen. And then the other tab is the translation. So alphabetical list of all 28 languages, and any language that has a speaker icon to the right of it means that that text-to-speech functionality is available in that native language. I believe it's 23 or 24 of the 28 languages that we offer text-to-speech read aloud in the native language. Play button, moving over to the left one more. This will be the English text-to-speech read aloud. So if I click this play button, the entire article will be read aloud from start to finish. Similarly to the translation feature, I can highlight just a single word or a short passage, click that play button,
for the future
and it
of the
will read
National
aloud while
Aeronautics
highlighting
and
the
Space
text.
Administration, NASA.
Last but certainly not least is one of our newest accessibility features, and this is Noah Text. So Noah Text is an in-article font markup that is geared towards dyslexic readers. But since we've released this feature, it's been about 8 or 9 months, and in speaking with educators all across the country, this is not only being used to benefit dyslexic readers, but also striving readers, ESL and bilingual students, gifted and talented readers who want to try and challenge themselves to pronounce more complex words. And I had a librarian the other month tell me verbatim that this is going to be a game changer for implementing the science of reading. So without further ado, when I click this button, it will toggle the Noah Text font on and off. What this does is it takes more complex words, bolds every other syllable, while underlining the vowels that are pronounced phonetically. NOAA Text has data that supports up to an 18% increase in reading comprehension, as well as accuracy, and it also boosts their confidence as well. And I'm proud to say that right now, Kids Discover Online is the only publisher in the market with this feature. We have an exclusive deal for the moment with NOAA Text, so proprietary to us, exclusive deal. And again, this can be toggled on and off at any point in time for every single article on the platform. I want to jump into what we call a unit overview page. So as I mentioned, teachers are not required to use this unit of study entirely as we have it laid out. However, if they want to, this page is a great hub of resources. It acts as a table of contents where we'll provide a short description of what's covered in the unit of study. We will list all of the articles along with the varied reading levels they come at. Any supporting resources like videos or infographics will also live on this page. And this is also where we house our teacher resources. So every unit of study comes with a teacher guide and a power vocabulary. It's about 30 pages total of teacher resources. The teacher guide will be more of your lesson planning. There are some pre-reading activities. We've got some discussion and writing questions, as well as some true, false, and multiple choice questions. And we also offer a really nice cross-curricular extension lesson idea for every unit of study on our platform. The Power Vocabulary PDF will be a little bit more of your ELA component. We've got some definitions, flashcards in here. We also have a handful of vocabulary activities: crossword puzzle, word find, word matching, fill in the blank. And 3 of those 4 vocabulary activities also live on this unit overview page in digital format. Also, for teacher resources, we've got a really, what I find to be accurate across all states, search by standards feature. So I can enter Wisconsin, specific grade level and subject area. This will pull from the Wisconsin State Department of Education, and we will provide you a nice 3-column format of results with the content standard or performance standard in the left-hand column. The middle column will be the scope and sequence or pacing. And then the right-hand column, the standard description, anywhere you see hyperlinks underneath the description itself, these are entire units of study that we feel can be used to teach this descriptor or focus area or content standard. And clicking on this hyperlink will take you to that same unit overview page that we were just looking at for rockets. We've also got a basic search feature, so you can enter a specific keyword or phrase and then filter by, let's say, grade level, if I want to see what I have for just the younger kiddos. Or I can filter by content type. Maybe I'm looking for some videos or infographics to bolster my lessons. I can also filter by subject area, and this is another great way for educators to create a cross-curricular learning experience or lesson plan. For example, Moon would most likely be categorized in something related to earth science, space science. So if I were to filter by American history and world history, I'll get some nice, fun cross-curricular connections this way as well. Last thing I want to show is our virtual scavenger hunts. This is also new as of last school year. We've gotten a lot of great feedback on these. They are each contain 5 clues that are hidden in 5 different articles. Students need to use the clue to find the article based on searching the right keyword or phrase. And they need to complete the first clue before being graduated to the second clue, and so on and so forth. We have about 15 of these scavenger hunts so far. We are producing 1 every month, and we plan to continue that pace. So this is a great thing to use as a class discussion. You can, talk about why you want to search for specific words or how to find it. You can also break students out into groups or even individually and add a little competition to it and gamify that learning experience. All right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. The 2 other things that I just wanted to mention before I jump off is for anybody going to AASL next month, Kids Discover will be there. I will personally be there with a couple colleagues. We're exhibiting and presenting, so please stop by the booth and say hi. And then the second thing I wanted to mention, which is really exciting, is our editorial team has started work on a Wisconsin State history unit. So hopefully by the end of this calendar year, there will be the same high quality resources that we offer that are specific to Wisconsin State history. So we're really excited to announce that, and even more excited to roll it out hopefully in the next couple months.
Thanks so much, Alec. I'm really excited to hear about the Wisconsin State history content module coming. That's awesome. I'm sure that's going to be a huge hit.
Yeah, we're excited. We're excited. We don't have a lot of different states, but we have a good amount of business in Wisconsin, and so we saw the demand, and we're gonna appease the districts that we support.
That's fantastic. Well, I'm glad to hear that. We're really excited with how I think I probably mentioned this the last time you were here, but I feel like the Kids Discover and WiLS partnership has been a real big success. I think
100%. 100%. Yeah, no, very, very happy that we're working together and looking forward to continued success.
Us too. All right. Well, you heard it here first. Get your Wisconsin history module from Kids Discover soon. Now is the time to be looking at this product, folks. So
yeah, anybody looking for a trial, you can reach out to WiLS or you can reach out to myself directly. Same thing for pricing, as you guys know. Thank you, Jeff. It was good to see you as always. Hope to talk to you soon.
Always good to see you too, Alec. Again, thanks for joining us.
See you.
And thank you to all of our presenters for joining us today. We got really great information from Docuseek, Kermode, and Kids Discover. I think we've had a great Taco Tuesday, if a little bit short. We're done about 15 minutes earlier than usual because we only had 3 presenters today. But I am really excited to tell you that we still have more tacos coming. So we have a little bit of a break now until our next session, which will be October 14th. We had to shift a session around to accommodate a WiLS event happening next week. So you're getting a little bit of a break, but I'm not letting you go entirely. We will be coming back to you with another round of great vendor demos and presentations on October 14th. So I hope you'll join us then. Those of you who have come to watch live, or those of you watching the recording, thank you so much for being WiLS members and joining us to learn a little bit about some of our vendor partners today. And one last time, thank you to all of our vendor partners for joining us today for Taco Tuesday. I hope you have a great afternoon, and we'll see you in a few weeks. So long.